Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is episode 33 of the Wacky Random Challenge. There's been a break of a few days. The rig has been upgraded. I alluded to this a few times over the last few episodes, but the upgrades are in. And I've done a commentary for iRacing, which was proving to be a real struggle pre-upgrade. That seems to have gone pretty well. So my next thing is to try. Try this. We'll also be testing F1 2018 ahead of this coming weekend's race. And the race that was at the time of recording last night, I unfortunately couldn't attend, so had to do a big reshuffle of the PC commentators. They did a brilliant job, and it was a hell of a race on PC F1. So I was a bit gutted that I missed it, but never mind. What have we got in store for today? For this episode, it is going to be Rally Cross in Group 5 at Oschersleben B and Knock Hill. Foggy night, stormy night. Oh, can't remember the Knock Hill Rallycross circuit off the top of my head. Knock Hill Rallycross? I really can't remember. Oschersleben B. Yeah, I know that one. Let's do it. Why not? I'm going to do Foggy Day though, because it's 2 nights and the Rallycross cars don't have lights. So, which should we do first? Let's do the Rallycross first. To the Mini. Knock Hill. Oh, I think I remember. Yes, I do remember now. Yep. Against the Rallycross cars, of course. Road F. I know this is semi-pointless for a Rallycross, but it's quite amusing. LMP1 and GT3. Okay. As much as you can have. In fog. I'm doing the day for this one. Okay. Yeah, I spent a while upgrading this rig. I did an hour last night taking the relevant bits out of the old rig, putting them in the new one, and then spent 3 hours staring at it trying to get the thing to work whilst I was at work, also doing my job. But I just could not get the thing to give me any video output whatsoever. The problem? The RAM sticks were in the wrong slots. This board has 2 banks of 4 RAM slots, so 8 slots in each. And 8 slots in total, rather. 8 slots in each. Wow, that's a lot of RAM. And I had the wrong. Basically, I needed 1 stick in 1 block of 4 and the other one in the other block of 4, as opposed to in the matched pair in the same block. It's the first time I've ever dealt with that many RAM slots. Let's see how this does. Now the rig, one of the fans is making a very weird noise, and I can't. Oh, that's death. Unfortunately, I can't identify which fan it is that is making the noise. I also found out why my graphics card was overheating along. One of the fans has snapped. Which won't help, but the amount of dust. Oh, good lord, the dust that came off. I believe the Rallycross guy, and including me, is chasing this LMP. Oh, that's going to be death as well. Should have committed really to the Joker at that point. Questionable overtake on my fellow Rallycross. One of our AOR commentators is actually at the real life Knock Hill, or has been over the weekend just gone. A real life championship he's involved with. Oh no. I remember me and Hamish having good fun in this track. Oh, I should have. Again, I changed my mind too late. I should have gone for the Joker. Phew! Excuse me. Oh dear. Yeah, Albert's had a big moment there. Wow, lots of rumble in the wheel. Oh, take some tyres with me. I am going to go with the joker this time. Whoa. Whoa. That didn't go well. Oh. I thought it was straight. I really can't see. Oh, my key bindings have changed. Oh dear, that's not good. Oh, that was what was. Oh, why am I? Oh, I know. Oh no, I didn't need to reinstall Windows, so my profile should have remained as intact. I'll have to look at that. I don't think too many of them were different from default for me. Whoa. Charge! Recognise the Mercedes. And the Acura, I think. Oh, excuse me. Coming through. Whoa. Oh no, wall, no, not good. There we go. Whoa, the Acura taking an interesting line as well. Whoa. Still going. Whew, right. Oh, that wasn't good. Oh! Just about graze the tyres as opposed to just ploughing into them. Whoa! Oh, that didn't go well. Oh, excuse me, Acura. Just as much grip on the grass as I do on the mud. Oh, still got halfway to go. I'm not sure I'm going to catch N&P in the other rallycross car. So with the iRacing stream that we did earlier, it was very much last minute. As I had my kids to myself, which normally rules me out of doing streams, but they happened to settle in time, so I kind of jumped on like 5 minutes after the session had started and sort of set up very, very hastily, and still had to do kind of updates to the overlay and what have you. The biggest thing that went wrong pre-upgrade with the iRacing side was that whoever I was co-commentating with couldn't understand me. It's a road car. Whoa, bit of an unusual line. It's fine. Yeah, so when we tested the stream previously, my commentator couldn't understand me and I couldn't understand them, so, and it was transpiring my CPU just was completely maxed out. It was an old i5 4440 4440. It's again an unusual line. And through. Oh, that didn't go well. Get on the road. And through a friend of mine, I managed to source new case, new motherboard. The motherboard apparently is a monster of a motherboard. I'm not very good with these sort of things, so I take the word for it. But the fact that it has 8 RAM slots, as I'm usually used to 4. It had I was told it had an i7 already on the board with its own cooler, which happens to be a water-cooled CPU. So I didn't want to take the cooler off, find out what the processor was, so I had to kind of, you know, leap of faith that the processor was good and gut my machine for the bits it didn't have, the drives, the graphics card and power supply, all of which I successfully migrated across. And I found out when I fired up the rig, which booted quite happily into Windows without me having to reinstall it, which I was very pleased about. It's an i7 5820K, no less, which I am very pleased about. Oh, I've clipped that damn board again. Yeah, looking at benchmark performance figures for the previous chip and this one, it's very literally double the performance in its stock form, and it can be overclocked, I'm told. I don't have any experience in doing such things. Comes the rallycross car behind me. I want to look backwards, but my controls have been rebound. Whoa! Okay, don't know quite what I did there. Went a little too wide and touched the grass. You know what? No need to do another lap then. That is done. Whew. Well, so far so good. I haven't had any blue screens or weird behaviours or anything like that. The only thing that seems to be happening is one of the fans is making a dying noise, which I don't know which fan it is because there's 5 fans in there. You know, 2 on the CPU heatsink, on the radiator reservoir thing, and 3 others dotted around the case. And they were all so quiet when I fired them up. The only fan noise you can possibly hear in the background is the additional fan I have pointing at the graphics card because one of its own fans is dead. This is our next car at Oschersleben B. So yeah, I'm rather pleased with it so far. The only thing I had to kind of buy brand new was RAM. as I've gone from a DDR3 board to a DDR4 board, so 8 gig to 16 gig from DDR3 to DDR4, of course. As a new board, new processor, so yeah, it's quite a sizable step up. Storm as opposed to thunderstorm. That's going to make an awful lot of difference. Let's see how we get on. 112.9. I doubt I'm going to be getting anywhere near that. I had to ditch an old drive as I only had 3 SATA drive points, and I actually gained an optical drive with this rig, which kind of gives me some ideas for like really old games I still have on disc that I might kind of fire up just for the lols. Because my last rig never had an optical drive, which I didn't particularly miss it. It's not like I needed it or anything. 7 NP1, 7 GT3s, 8 Group 5, 6 Road Fs. Well, there's a difference. That used to stutter, that sequence there. Wow, there's a lot going on up there. Oh, hello. Someone really dying over right there. Good grief, sit still, you lot. Oh, locking up, locking up. I've hit neutral and hit this crate. Well, I'm certainly seeing performance differences. I hope that you lovely people watching this see an improvement. I haven't kind of put any graphics settings up. This is kind of just as it is from post upgrade, so I literally just fired this up and gone straight into recording. I was very keen to see how this did, and so far I'm very pleased with it. But the big test is going to be how F1 2018 behaves when me and Hamish come to do that. Hopefully I'll have an opportunity before Sunday to have a test. Oh, well, that's first. Whoa, that's a puddle. Oh. I had a feeling this would be a struggle. I'm in amongst the road Fs now. They'd be a lot easier in these conditions. Ah, Renault. Very pleased. It was a bit of a worry when we put this together in that 3-hour period where it just would not give me any video output. And that was a very worrying moment. Well, one moment, it was a very worrying time because I bought the new RAM. I really needed the upgrade because the old rig just was really struggling. Whoa! Back. Whoa. And so I can't really express the feeling of relief when it was actually one of my colleagues that said try this, and we looked at the configuration of the way the RAM should be. It was like slot 3 on the left block from left to right and slot 2 on the right block from left to right, but if you look at them, one mirrors the other because one block is actually upside down compared to the rest. If you can imagine, it's pivoted on one corner. There's one block on the left of the CPU and one block on the right. That's as best as I can think of a way to describe it. Anyway. It's all good. Now it's interesting that this game has reset some things. Like when I first fired it up, the menu music was back on. All the music volumes were up for some reason. I'd never changed a great deal, but I had to turn the graphic settings down. And it seems to be running higher than I remember it being, or it looks graphically better to me. And certainly I haven't noticed any kind of fluctuations in frame rate. It was always noticeable right at the beginning. Regulars to the series will know that it's usually in those first few seconds before the lights go out, where you have the various camera angles of the car, that you get the biggest slowdown. And certainly, judging by how it did this time, very gentle on the brakes, just hovering my foot there. It's going to be interesting, experimenting with it to see how far I can push it before it starts to struggle again. But I'm very confident moving forward that the various issues that have plagued my first few streams for F1 2018 for AOR have been resolved. I mean, it was a bit of a worry though that when I was streaming F1 2018, when I was looking at how Task Manager was telling me how much was being used, I managed to use 130% on the graphics card, which is it odd. So that one's going to be an interesting one to resolve. Because the graphics card's exactly the same. The graphics card hasn't changed. It's exactly the same one from the last unit. And that's nothing, it's not a brand new card by any stretch. It's a Radeon R280. So the next bottleneck is likely to be that. But at the moment, seems to be doing okay. It ran iRacing pretty well, but that's far more CPU intensive. From what I am told, the feedback I had was that the stream and the comms were quality-wise pretty flawless. It's just me that was the problem. Whoops! That could have been nasty. This track does not suit the Group 5 cars. Not any with a major turbo lag anyway. Get off the grass. Well, lap time is coming down. The gap between me and the next car is steadily dropping. I don't think it's going to drop quick enough. Should have stayed away from the apex there, it's just full of water. Oh. Oops, nearly turned in a bit early there. Oh, water. Well, the IP1s have got past the road Fs. Hardly shocking. It's interesting, like that. My controls have reset, with the menu music thing had reset, but my interface hasn't. The interface is exactly how I left it. And, the game had remembered what my previous session was, so... Get out of the water. That's a GT3 car up there. Oh. Oops. Right, final lap then. Oh, no, it won't be, because the leaders behind are 20 seconds behind. There's 27 on the clock. So, no, there'll be one more after this. Really struggling to slow down without locking up. Yeah, so referring back to the iRacing race, it was Imola for the GTEs, and it was great. There was 33 people for me to talk about. I didn't get through all of them. As there was quite a major pile-up on the first lap, which I didn't really catch. Oh, come on. I kind of caught a bit of it, but couldn't identify who it was. I was having quite a bit of trouble with the overlay, or with the program that I use in the background to control the cameras and what have you. Charge! Oh, it was the final lap. I was hoping I'd have another one. 1:16.5. Well, pretty, getting steadily quicker. I was 16.5, 16.6, 16.7, steadily slower than the last few laps. How did I do with the rest of the class? 16, 17s in the GT3s, 17s in the G Group 5s. So, yeah, I did alright. I did alright. And that is it for this episode. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.